Challenges of electronics, all right? And some of the challenges that our farmers are dealing with from an electronics standpoint is kind of a good picture of the tractor cab. We're trying to do a lot of things with multiple functions, and of course we got a lot of monitors in the mix. Of course it becomes complicated, and then we get upset like we saw in the video there earlier. Some of the other items too, as we think about where we've been from electronics standpoint, even at Kinsey, is we've gone from base level monitors to we kind of transitioned into ISOBUS as a solution. We wanted to get rid of all those monitors that we saw in that first cab, get it down to one display. It was a decent solution for a while. Unfortunately, it was like running this style of computer, and no offense if anybody's still running those today. I know Eric and Eric are still running these on their desks, but other than that, they're outdated. The user interface, the graphics, how fast it is, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the worst part is with ISOBUS and relying on somebody else to provide solutions, you can't get new features quick enough. And the way the market is changing and customer requests are coming in for more features in the market, we need to be able to give them everything. And of course, when you're talking to a farmer when it's not in the spring, I want it all now. And I want all these options. And we need to take that flexibility in and give those guys what they want quicker, faster, and more efficiently. Of course, as you get into adding those features, kind of a double-edged sword in some cases. I kind of view them as a necessary evil, but software updates. They're needed to maybe fix a problem or a concern from the past spring, but they're needed to give you more features and enhancements as well. And software updates can be a pain. They can take a long time. They're difficult to install. You don't know what versions on what module in the parts department, all those type of things. So we need a system that will give us features quickly, solutions quickly, make them easy to upgrade, easy to troubleshoot, and of course, keeping with our simplistic and easy to use, it needs to be hassle-free to operate. So Kinsey's solution to identify and fix and help with all of those items. So Blue Vantage, obviously not a complete new product for us this year. We've had it out for the last couple years, but adding new enhancements to this mix. And kind of just a summary of the base or behind the scenes items, because of course Blue Vantage, that's what everybody sees. That's what's in the cab, that's what you interact with. But what about the back behind the black curtain? How is that system better than what others have out in the industry and really what we've offered before as well? And really it starts with our Kinsey Electronics group. And several years ago, it's been almost 6 years now, Kinsey decided to bring all of electronics development in-house now. So what you're seeing as new products coming out are all Kinsey designed by Kinsey personnel, which allows us to meet customer requests and customer demands a whole heck of a lot quicker. The nice part about having those guys in-house is we can obviously talk regularly, daily, about the challenges we've had as a company, challenges that farmers are dealing with out in the field, and how can we provide a better solution to you guys and the farmers in the field. And really it starts with kind of the architecture on the planter itself. And unique to Blue Drive, which of course is controlled with Blue Vantage, is we use Ethernet cables for all of our communication on the planter.
So Brad, Ethernet. That sounds like the same stuff that's in my house.
Yep, it's magic.
It's magic.
That's what it is.
NASA.
Ethernet. All right, so Justin's exactly right. It's the same stuff that's in your house. All right, you can think of it like a network built into the planter. So the benefit of using Ethernet, it's quicker. All right, so slightly better than your dial-up.
Download speeds?
Yep, slightly better than your dial-up.
Yeah, okay. Out in the country, that's about all we get.
And obviously a whole heck of a lot faster than CAN bus. Okay, so we've got rid of CAN bus on the planner and gone to Ethernet for faster update speeds, faster configuration times, all those type of things, and we use Ethernet across the entire machine. The nice part is all of our cables come from the oil field industry, so it's the same ones that control drilling rigs. So they're the same style of cables, durable, watertight, made to be on the planner in the conditions they're in. And then our universal architecture, or our module design. So all of our modules are designed, again, in-house by Kinsey personnel. And the beauty of these modules is they're universal, which means I can take a module anywhere on the planner. These modules run rows, they run fans, they fold the planner, all different types of functionality. And you can take them out of any location on the planner, move them to another location, wherever it may be, either running a row or a fan. The system will automatically reconfigure the module for you before you walk back to the tractor cab.
So I don't have to reprogram the whole machine?
You don't have to reboot, power cycle, shut the alternator off, none of that. It does it for you.
So what if I, say for example, one went bad and I've got a different version of firmware? Is that row going to work?
So, of course, one of the challenges we talked about is software updates, okay, and trying to keep the updates in parts. So, Justin, you went in and got a new one out of a parts from one of these dealers out here, and we took it out. Historically, if it wasn't the right firmware version, it wouldn't work. You had to update. You had to do something. Of course, when it's time to go, it's time to go. We don't have time to mess around with updates. So the beauty of it is you get it out of parts, you take it out, plug it into the planner. The planner will configure the module to whatever function it's doing. It will check its firmware version, and will either upgrade it or downgrade it to match everything on the planner with no input from you. So you plug it in, and you're ready to go. The system does everything for you. Okay? So really streamline it from a usability standpoint, troubleshooting standpoint, just from the architecture itself. And we're not even talking about the easy-to-use display yet. So that's kind of the background of Blue Vantage as we get into what's new for 2021 planting season. Okay, so ordering for this summer for next year is we are integrating true depth hydraulic downforce into the Blue Vantage display. So historically it was a dedicated monitor separate from Blue Vantage. It is all integrated into Blue Vantage now. So if you have a Blue Drive, Blue Vantage equipped planner for 2021 planting, all of your fold functions, true depth, and anything on the unit is operated through Blue Vantage display. So integrated true depth, and we'll take a look at that as we kind of go through some screens. We've also added a kind of a preview window, and what we've called it True Point. So again, as we talked about data that customers want to get down to, and the level they want to get down to, we've developed that preview window called True Point. The nice part about the True Point window is we can get down to a single point in the field. And with Blue Vantage being a Dell ruggedized tablet, we can zoom down to the 5-inch level on the map. And you can simply tap on that icon or that spot in the field. So let's say it's a yellow spot in the field, indicating that the row was planting low for whatever reason. You can select that single spot on the map, and it will tell you everything about that location in the field. Okay, you can see it tells you downforce level, what your fertilizer rate was, what the target rate was, what it was actually applying at that location. So a snapshot of that specific point on the planner by row. Okay, so really get into the detail for those guys that want to see that kind of detailed information, and it's live as you're planting through the field. Of course, True Speed. We talked about True Speed this morning. Blue Drive will operate True Speed, and what we talked about this morning as well is it's the same architecture. All right, so it's the same modules and same Ethernet as every other Blue Drive equipped planner will now support True Speed. The nice part about it, whether you're running True Rate or True Speed meter, the user interface on the display is really exactly the same. There's no big changes between them. Just, again, allow for that simplicity and easier troubleshooting from your guys' standpoint, helping guys over the phone. The UI is basically identical.
So with this new meter, nothing's changing. We don't have to redesign the whole platform.
Nope.
It's the same user interface.
Absolutely. And then the beauty of that is going down the road, If you have a Blue Drive equipped planter today and you want to put TrueSpeed on it, you already have everything you need. You just put a different set of meters in there.
Just like that.
And we're ready to roll. Absolutely. So, control TrueSpeed for 2021. Again, we can't be remiss without talking about the easy use of Blue Vantage, Blue Drive, and our 3 clicks to plant. And we've designed Blue Vantage to really, again, like we did with TrueSpeed, cover the wide range of seed sizes. We're covering a wide range of customer base. So we start with the guy that's coming from a KPM3 to a guy that's been running some form of electronics or GPS or mapping or clutches or whatever it may be for a really long time. And we have the ability to just tap 3 times and plant, or, of course, support the high-tech guy that wants all of his data, all the hybrids, all that sort of stuff in the display as well. So we cover both ends, but really 3 clicks and go, and we're ready to head to the field. And we're going to kind of walk through some of those steps to get you guys kind of a feel of what Blue Drive is like, as well as show you some of those new features like we talked about earlier. So really, guys, the first thing that we talk about is this home screen right here. The unique part about it is the background picture. So yep, the background picture's pretty. The nice part about it, though, is we're going to change the background picture every year we change software. Why do we do that? Well, really 2 reasons. Number 1, because we can. Number 2, because how many times have you asked the customer or your service department's been talking to somebody over the phone and you ask them, you know, hey, what software version are you on? Long pause, just like that, okay? The nice part is, on Blue Vantage, say, hey, go to your home page. What is your picture? If it's short cornrows with a nice blue sky, hey, you have the right software version.
So it's not buried 27 pages deep.
Nope, it's not buried anywhere. Just go turn it on, if nothing else, and tell me what the home screen says. We've also added a lot of diagnostics on this home page as well. You guys can see the check boxes at the top of the screen. This tells you that, hey, everything is ready to go. All the check boxes are there. If something on the planner is not working, one of those check boxes is missing, and prevents a customer from planning in a scenario that the planner is not ready to go. Okay? So let's get to plant. So we hit our plant page. You can see all of our historic fields that we've planted already. We're going to plant a new field, so we hit add. And then we look at the layout of this setup. So this is everything the customer needs to set up before he goes to the field. The nice part about Blue Vantage is we do not require grower, farm, field, or any product information to go plant. Okay? So I've been out in the field and been working on a lot of planters over the years. It surprises me how many guys I go to and I start looking at their grower, farm, and field list as we're working on things, and his grower is home, the farm is home, and the field is home. That's it. Home, 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 and he has one product called corn. But there's 65 of them listed in his list, right? How many guys got customers like that? Half, okay? So the guy that wants the technology, meaning he likes turning compensation with electric drive, he doesn't want to deal with chains, he wants single row section control and all the simplicity that electric drive provides, but from a data standpoint, doesn't really care. Okay, the nice part is we don't require that. The other part is for that guy that's maybe new or coming into technology, we provide you the book recommended settings for bulk fill and vacuum by default by crop. So you always know where to start. Okay? The other part we're trying to do is really try and increase trade-in values, because if the owner's manual stays in the plastic, it'll be worth more when they trade it in. All right?
Is that why they're always in the plastic?
That's why it's always in the plastic.
I never knew
It's worth more. Little known fact, a little known value today. Okay? So we give them defaults. That way they don't have to look. And again, we're trying to provide the best experience possible. And being a dedicated planter display, we know exactly the planter it's going on. We know the recommended settings for every disc and crop, and we can build that into Blue Vantage. So really, at the end of the day, the guy doesn't have to do anything here if he doesn't want. If he wants to record all the data, by all means, you can put that in here as well. But we're not going to do anything, so I had one button to hit plant, All of my settings are where I want it to be. I hit plant again, and I'm on my plant screen. I'm off and running. Okay? Again, everything is run through the display. So if we kind of work our way around in a circle, starting at the top, you have bar graphs at the top that give you, depending on your map, and in this case, our map is on ground contact. So this is one of our mapping downforce map of data. So previous True Depth did not have mapping capability. We get into Blue Drive and Blue Vantage with True Depth. We now have mapping capability for our hydraulic downforce. So we have bar graphs at the top giving you row by row information. It's giving you average ground contact across the unit. High row, low row, gives you vacuum levels, bulk fill, and our row detail piece in the lower right-hand corner. So you can specifically look at a single row. Our second tab down, if we have markers, that's where markers live. Again, anything the customer needs to know while running through the field is on this page. Because if we go over here to our acres and miles per hour, on this, it's where our bulk fill scales live. How many acres we have left, what our speed source is. All the data the customer needs to know is on this page. Okay, so let's say we want to change layers, and let's look at some of the new things that we've added to 21 Blue Vantage, Blue Drive. If you tap on the upper right-hand corner where it says ground contact, that allows you to select all of your different layers. And again, we've added more because of True Depth. So we can see the second option down below our nice pretty corn here is our ground contact percentage, which is what we're on right now. We, of course, have applied force, which is showing how much force we're applying by row, and our sensed force. So how much force are we sensing on the gauge wheels in a by row scenario? Okay, so obviously, again, integration. If you have fertilizer or insecticide, that obviously is a layer option as well, so the customer can see any map layer at any time and make any changes at any time by only having one button click away. So really try to streamline it as best we can. So let's go to our population percent to target map. Okay. We tap in the center, and we talked about True Point as being a new feature. Okay. So if I zoom out, and again, the nice part of this being a tablet is it's just like your smartphone. So one finger goes around, two, you can pinch and zoom in, so it's easy to use and easy to change your views going through the field. So if I zoom in and get nice and tight, again, we can get down to a 5-inch zoom level, and I tap somewhere on the screen. So we can see that little red mark there. If I tap right on that, I can see that specific information for that location. So, for example, it didn't plant any seeds there. The target was 30,000 seeds an acre. Well, why the heck was it doing that here? Well, because of the demo and how it's turning so short, those rows were not moving. Turning compensation was stopping that row from turning because it was such a tight turn. Would not recommend that in actual field applications unless you want to visit your parts department for some replacement shanks. Okay? So, obviously from the demo standpoint, but wanted to show you all the detail that True Point gives you. So everything you need to know from rate, fertilizer, downforce, and insecticide, again, is part of that True Point solution. Unique part about it, guys, is again with True Speed. If I zoom back out, with True Speed, the user interface is going to be the same. So this layout and what you see on here, and you can see the miles per hour up there on the side is running 8 miles an hour. So this is simulating a True Speed equipped planter. It's a 24 row with True Speed just like we have over here. So user interface is very similar between the two. Some of the other items that really start to set us apart from others in the industry by far is our health and diagnostics page. We spent a lot of time developing health and diagnostics, so if anything happens in the field, we can get it fixed quickly, efficiently, and get that guy up and running as soon as possible. Some unique items, though, we get specific detail on every row, so anything you need to know about every row lives here. It will tell you which row is obviously not working, which row is updating, All those type of things are given to you real time, and you can watch this screen as you drive through the field as well to diagnose issues. Probably one of the big items that sets us apart, though, is that diagnostics box in the center of the page. And if we press on diagnostics, we have built-in diagnostics in the tablet that allows you to walk through common errors or alarms in the field, and we give you steps to look at and check. So, for example, our alternator power is lost while we're driving through the field. We get an alternator alarm. You can come into diagnostics. It will give you steps to look at. So it says, hey, make sure you check the remote. Is your flow set right? What's the power pack health information say? So all this information is built in there to help the customer walk through, or the dealer technician as well, if he's out there, can help him walk through issues in the field, fix them, and get him back running. Another unique item we've added at the top of the list is a more detailed wiring schematic for you guys in the field. Okay, so the nice part, every Blue Drive planner has a Ethernet layout in it. The nice part about having a tablet-based user interface is the ability to tap on any picture. It then becomes a live picture, and you can zoom in and get to the details. All of the part numbers for all the cables are built into this page. So again, everything we can do to help provide you solutions in the field to keep that thing up and running. By not having an in-house solution, we obviously couldn't provide this type of support and data response to customer requests in the field. So a lot of features built into our health, diagnostics, and our plant page to help keep that guy running in the field.
So Brad, looking at this, we think of like KPM3 as being the simple monitor. Well, to me, this seems a whole lot more simple than a KPM3 even.
Really, that's kind of been the theme and review from several guys. We've had several guys that have jumped from KPM3 to Blue Vantage. And you talk about comparing a KPM3, changing corn to beans, for example.
Exactly. There's
about 14 button presses in order to do that on the base level monitor. You compare to Blue Vantage with 3 clicks just to get planting. If you had to change the crop, it would be 5 or 4, depending on his rate. So again, streamline that to make it easier than a KPM3 to provide solutions for that guy. Kind of similar, though, with that guy that's running a KPM3. He's probably that guy that's not maybe using a lot of farm management data. Okay, he doesn't really care about the data.
Probably got a notebook somewhere in the tractor.
He's kind of got a notebook. I know an economically focused guy that does something similar to that.
Your dad?
Okay, so it's my dad. So we've been running GPS monitors for a long time at home, but he still has that notebook with the pen in it that he keeps track. You guys got customers like that too? Oh,
he just doesn't trust you, Brad. He wants to make sure that,
that's understandable.
Before Brad runs this report, I want to make sure that it's right.
So the guy's got the notebook to kind of write it down, but the maps are always a handy feature. But the guy doesn't have the capability or desire to either pay somebody to print those maps for him, or doesn't want to spend the time or effort to do the maps himself. So what we've done is built in a lot of that feature set into Blue Vantage. So if we go back to our home page where we started, and in the bottom we have our Manage tab down here. We press on Manage, again, getting feedback from users, competitive and current Kinsey operators. Hey, what would you like to see in a new monitor from Kinsey? And really the big one was, can I just get a report? I just want a printout of my maps. Simple enough. Under our planting reports on the side, all of the fields that you've planted have data layers in them. We just kind of went through some of those layers. The nice part about it, that first one at the top of the list, you see, does not have a grower, farm, or field name. It's just generic date and timestamp. So we always record it for the customer, even if he does not use it. If you hit View on those options for each field, we provide you a PDF summary map of that field. So for example, we have our grower, farm, and field up here, which is generic. We show our products, hybrid, fertilizer, and insecticide, since this one's equipped with all of them. It gives you acres per hybrid, however many you have in that field. You hit the arrow to the right, it will give you all of your map layers on a page as well. So for example, our percent to target map, actual applied population map, singulation map, seed product, fertilizer rate, product, insecticide product, ground contact map, applied force map. What do you guys notice about this map? That big red line through it, right? All right, so that's just showing grain cart track, where he runs all the time. All right, we better have to do some tillage, better get a mocktail out there. Okay? So applied force, sensed force. All of these maps can be printed or exported to a USB stick, and you can take it to any computer, plug them in, and just simply print them off.
So no software needed.
No desktop software. All you need is your grandkid to come out with his USB, plug it in, export those out, and you have pre-made maps for your reference built into the display.
So I know a guy that doesn't really follow any of that, doesn't want his maps. He just wants to know his acre count at the end of the year when he goes in the USDA office and certifies his crop.
So he wants to know how many acres of corn did I plant, how many acres of beans did I plant.
Yeah, corn 1, corn 2, corn 56.
Corn 56. Okay, so got a solution for you. So if he doesn't want the colored maps and he just wants a summary by crop, we offer that too. Under Basic Reports, the tab right above it, at the upper corner, it says Season. So we're going to select our Season 2020. We then press on our View for Crops Report, and we've just given what Justin wants. We've provided a crop summary report. Okay, something that guys have been asking for from other manufacturers for a long time. We provide, hey, in 2020, we planted 474.4 corn acres. Okay, we still break it down below where we give you hybrids and fields and all that. But at the end of the day, if he just wants summary by crop, you can simply do that. Print it off, take it to your ASCS office, and you have your total acres. Absolutely. So simple. Again, it's built in, guys. It's a free feature, if you want to call it that, as we've tried to help cover challenges and requests from users and farmers. So Justin, that same guy that wants his just acres, does he want to know anything else? Like, is he a maintenance conscious guy?
Oh, they all are. They're economically focused.
Economically focused. So he probably owns a grease gun then, probably.
I'm assuming, yes.
All right, we can only
probably
hope.
Several of them.
We can only hope. Okay, so another option request that we've got from a lot of guys is how can I keep track of when I replace components on the planter? All right, so let's say we replace disc opener blades. We put new double row bearings in my planter, and I'm going to run them, but I kind of want to know how long these are actually lasting me. Okay, so we've added a feature, again, on this Manage page that says counters at the top. The nice part about this counter option is you can have separate acre counters for whatever you want. Maybe it's a maintenance item, like we talked about with our double disc openers. Maybe it's just planting Fred's field.
So, but what if I go back to planting my field?
The good news is, with that, you can turn them on and off at any time. You can stop them. You can export them. You can do whatever you so choose.
So,
with those
say I'm over
reports.
working at Fred's and I've got a field near him. I can hit pause, go back to my stuff, and then continue to count on his?
Absolutely. You can see the check mark up here, which signifies that one is active.
So that guy right there.
So we're planting Fred's. Now we got a check mark, and it's going to start counting. Okay, we can shut it off by choosing a different acre counter, and that one is now off. So again, just more flexibility, more data request. Really, a lot of it's come from your technicians in the field as we've gone through service school. Hey, how can I put when I change something, or what the part number was that I changed, or any of those type of items, put new vacuum seals in, all those type of things. Obviously, we can do that now with our counters page.
So I can log more than one thing.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yep.
And you can edit them or change them and turn them on and off.
I think we're going to limit you. I think the limit is about 175 is the limit. Is that enough?
I think it
Close?
would be.
Be all right?
It would be.
All right. So there's only 175 you can put in here, okay? But again, it just gives you that flexibility to record different things, record maintenance items, record Fred's custom work, whatever it may be. Okay, so that's a nice feature on the counters, and the nice part too is you can see all these counter information on your live plant screen as well. You guys see the lifetime acre counter at the top? It's displayed here, and it's also in the health page. The nice part about lifetime acres on a Blue Drive planter is it is saved on the planter. It is not saved in the tablet or dock station. Okay, so you can take any Blue Vantage display, plug it into any Blue Drive planter, and get the lifetime acres out of it. Okay. Guys, as we get into new customers and guys getting interested into Blue Vantage and starting to see the options, I know a lot of you guys have these display stands at your dealership already, but really a big feature that we've let a lot of guys, and a lot of guys liked as we've gone through different farm shows, like Eric talked about earlier. Obviously, we're just plugged into a 110 outlets. Every Blue Vantage display comes with a built-in training mode in it. So the customer can go into training mode, just like we just went through here this morning, walk through it, change it, modify it. He can mess everything up in there to his heart's desire, and then get out of training mode, and the tablet is right back where you started. Okay, so you want to refresh your memory. Okay? Pull it out here in the next couple weeks, walk through it. Train somebody new. Or maybe it's a new planter to him. He can walk through that training mode and refresh himself. So built in to the tablet.
So Brad, what about in the off season when I'm lining my hybrids up and wanting to make a game plan for the field? You know, I don't want to write them all down in a notebook and try to remember which corn I'm planting in there. How do we go about doing that?
Same rule applies. The tablet obviously is separate of the dock, so we can remove that tablet. It comes with a 110 wall charger as part of the package. Take it in your office, sit there at the desk, type in all of the hybrids, grower farm field names if you want to record that data, load prescription files, all those type of things you can do with the outlet.
So I can do that all without being in the tractor?
Absolutely. Yep. Be totally separate. Yep. The other nice part, guys, is we've had a lot of questions on, so the guy that is working with desktop software, all right, what can I use? How universal is the file type? All those type of things. So the data coming off of Blue Vantage is a generic ISO XML file type. It's a standard structure that's been in the industry for a long time. Last year we really focused on, hey, data management, we really recommend you use Ag Leader SMS as the desktop software. That's still the case, although we now, Climate is now fully supporting Blue Vantage and Blue Drive log files, and we're hoping to get finished up John Deere Operations Center support as well. So you can take the files out and import them into John Deere Operations Center as well. So try and be as universal as possible for farmers, realizing that there's other color machines on the planter or on the farm, and of course other desktop softwares out there as well. Now those are kind of the three main ones that we focus on and touch on, but FarmWorks, MapShots, all those type of other desktop softwares out there have been supporting that file type for a long time. So it's not anything new to them. Those are the first three we talked about. Ag Leader, Climate, and John Deere are the three main ones we focus on because obviously they're the largest ones that are getting used right now.
So to recap.
What I got?
So really nothing's changing from True Speed to our normal Blue Drive.
Yep.
So that is something that can be changed in the future without seamless integration, so to speak.
Yep.
So we've got simplistic push button control. We've got different mapping layers now.
Yep.
We can zoom into, you say 5-inch or
5-inch
almost
level.
seed level control.
Yep.
We've got independent row.
Yep.
So on True Speed, we can see row detail, row voltage.
Yep. Yep. See our motor RPM. It's row by row mapping, row by row detail. The best part I can tell you is what about all these features? How much is the software update going to cost the customer to get these features?
Well, it's probably huge, isn't it?
It's the best part
Unlock.
is it's just actually it's free. Update is free, guys. We're never planning to charge for Blue Vantage updates. They're located for free on our public website, which if you haven't checked out our sweet new website, I would highly suggest you do. But it's on our public website for free so the customer can do the update by himself if he so chooses. And the beauty of the update process is once you put the file on the USB, you plug it into the Blue Vantage, the update happens in less than 5 minutes. So we can update the entire planner in less than 5 minutes. So we can't get any better than that. It's free, it happens quick, and you get the new style enhancements like we're talking about that you'll get for 2021.
Sounds pretty win-win-win.
Win-win-win. I like it. I like it.
Any questions from the crowd? We got one over here.
See who runs the fastest.
So if I'm hearing you right, we could potentially keep one of these monitors in our truck when we're going out and evaluating these down the line to see how many acres are on them.
Correct.
Would we also need a power source to pull that info off, or is that something you could just plug the monitor in, like if their tractor isn't in the same barn?
Sure. Yep, you're exactly right. Really, if that's the case that you wanted to check it, you would need a dock station and one power cable to get the power relay turned on to basically energize the modules. You don't need any hydraulics or alternator or any of that. It's just power and the Ethernet connection to get you there is all. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
If you do the updates on the monitor to the 2021 version,
Yep.
are you capable of moving the hydraulic down pressure reading onto that, or is that even capable to do that?
Yep, great question. So if he's running a standalone downforce, so new planner this year would obviously have its separate display, okay? If he wanted to integrate it into Blue Vantage, he would upgrade software, just like you said. It would be a wiring change on the row unit, and he'd be ready to go. The nice part about integrated True Depth, guys, is again, we're still using the same module on the row. So it's a matter of disconnecting from the standalone system. There's a harness that plugs into this module. It goes to your downforce link and valve, updating your software in your configuration. Again, taking less than 5 minutes, and he would have integrated downforce in his Blue Drive. Absolutely. Yep, you can do that.
Got one over here.
Maybe you touched on this. If we have, say, a customer with a current planner and he's running an in-command 1200, and he's got 35 fields mapped, RTK, he runs everything, got the subscription, unlocked. How do we get that into this?
Yep, so great question. You want to transition maps and data from an in-command into Blue Vantage. The easiest way to do that is to use Ag Leader SMS, which I'm assuming he's probably using with his in-command already. And built into Ag Leader SMS is a section under Kinsey called Blue Vantage. And you're going to say, I want to export my prescriptions, boundaries, etc. to Blue Vantage. You click that, the software does it for you, it comes out on a USB, you plug it in, and you click import, and everything is there. Grower, farm, field, boundaries, RXs, whatever it may be. Absolutely. There's no unlock. Yep, there's no unlock codes in the display or required.
So you go into boundary and prescriptions right here, hit import, and
Yep, yep, so boundary prescription files. Obviously, we have a couple in there already, but you'd plug your USB in, the import button would come up.
right there would be highlighted. And
Yep, and you would pull them all in. So there's no unlock codes in the display at all. It's all ready to go.
we got one back here with Peter.
So you guys have the feedback for your downforce hydraulically. What about pneumatic?
Currently, we do not have for pneumatic. The only feedback we have on pneumatic down pressure today is the pressure in the system. So it's closed loop. So if you had pneumatic downforce on a Blue Drive planner, you would set it at 200 pounds, and the system will maintain that 200 pounds of pressure. We're currently looking at a possible option to have some feedback using load links on pneumatic, if you had it. But right now, it's just a planter-wide set closed loop control is what it is. No feedback today. No feedback today. A couple things to look at as we get farther down the line, guys. We get into 22 and beyond. A common question was about cloud-based data transfer. Right now, it's just a USB. That's coming. Cloud-based storage, cloud-based transfer from Blue Vantage into Climate using cloud-based options, and share coverage mapping. So having two Blue Vantages in the same field at the same time is coming as well. So that's in the works to have shared coverage mapping and cloud-based items as well.